So you're looking to play more Fire Emblem Three Houses. I get it. It's a fantastic game, one of my favorites in the series, and one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch. But once you've played through the DLC, it's not so easy to get at the other Fire Emblem games in the series. A lot of them are available digitally through the Wii U and 3DS eShop, but that requires you to have a Wii U or 3DS still handy. Other games in the series are only available physically and they're really hard to track down. For example, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn are some of the most sought after games in the series, but at the time they sold incredibly poorly, and they are some of the rarest and most expensive games to get. And then on top of that, you have to find a Wii or a GameCube to play them. So what do you do then if you've played through all of the paths in Fire Emblem Three Houses, you've played through the DLC, and you still want more? I'm Jeff from inthirdperson.com, and I've got a couple of recommendations on the Switch that you can play right now to scratch that Fire Emblem and turn-based strategy itch. We're going to start this list off with a 2-for-1, and I'm going to talk about these at the same time because they're part of the same series. Valkyria Chronicles 1 and Valkyria Chronicles 4. I know I'm holding up the PS3 copy of Valkyria Chronicles, but it's also available digitally on the Nintendo Switch. This one takes place in what's basically an anime version of World War II. You're fighting with guns, you're fighting with tanks, fighting with rocket launchers, and while it might look like a shooter, it's actually a turn-based strategy game where you move your characters around the battlefield one at a time, and you still look down the sights and aim at enemies. It's actually a really cool combination. And besides the turn-based strategy that ties somewhat similarly to Fire Emblem, I recommend this one in particular because of the anime elements of Valkyria Chronicles. It has a gorgeous anime art style, and the characters have a lot of personality, and some of their personality traits actually impact their performance on the battlefield. Now, in terms of Valkyria Chronicles 2 and 3, those are, don't worry about that. They were available only on the PSP in Japan. Just try out Valkyria Chronicles 1 and 4. The next strategy game that I think you gotta try out on the Nintendo Switch is Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Now, I remember this one shocked everyone when it was first announced. Like, why would you want to play a game with Mario and the Rabbids in a turn-based strategy game? But it turns out this is excellent. It's a fantastic game that plays actually a lot like XCOM, but as a Fire Emblem player, it should be super easy to pick up. You're still managing Mario and Luigi and Peach on the battlefield and managing the Rabbids as well. And you have some really creative weapons and encounters. I love the boss fights in this game. I love how they mixed in the adventuring of Mario in between maps. And it's also got a skill tree for every character in the game. So the more you use them, the more skill points you get, the more you can unlock of their abilities and attributes. So it kind of gives you that RPG development that you also get in Fire Emblem Three Houses. This next one is arguably my favorite game in this entire list, and one that I could play forever, and that's Into the Breach. Aliens have gone and attacked our planet in every single dimension, and we have to defend our territory in all of them. And so the way this game works, it's a bite-sized strategy game where you're only controlling 3 units at a time on these small 8x8 grids. But man, the action is so fantastic. It makes you make really tough decisions every step of the way, and there's so much replayability here. The maps are randomly generated. You can end your campaign after finishing only 2 areas versus 3 areas versus 4. There's a ton of unlocks, and it's a game that, because of the roguelike elements of it, you can play it forever and have a different experience with it and have fun every single time you play. So, Into the Breach, I highly recommend checking it out. The last game I want to recommend on this list is Wargroove. This one is a mix of Fire Emblem and its sibling series, Advance Wars. Where it borrows from Fire Emblem is that it takes place in a fantasy setting, and it has hero characters with names who impact the story. They're a little more powerful than your regular units, and if they die in the battle, you automatically lose the mission. But for the most part, it plays like Advance Wars, where you're mostly fighting with disposable tanks and soldiers that are meant to die. but you're supposed to manage your resources to buy more units to keep the battle going. In summary, if you're looking for more turn-based strategy games to play on the Switch, I would recommend Valkyria Chronicles 1 and 4, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Into the Breach, and Wargroove. So that's 5 other strategy games to check out after you're done playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. Are there any other great turn-based strategy games to play on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comments and I'll definitely check it out because I love turn-based strategy games like Fire Emblem and I'm always looking for more. But that's going to do it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it the thumbs up. And if you enjoy my work here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified on when the next video goes live. I try and put up these videos every week, and I put up archives of my stream here every week as well, which I stream over at twitch.tv/inthirdperson. Would love to see you live if you've got the time. And make sure to follow me on social media, on Twitter, and on Instagram at inthirdperson. And check out the website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. One more thing I gotta say. Nintendo, please bring Path of Radiance back in some shape or form. Make a new one in the series with Ike in it. Port this, remaster it for the Switch, like anything. Please, please, please. Alright, let's get out of here. Later! What else do you want to talk about, Claude? Right. Equipment upkeep, the view from the bridge, Fodlan's future. I see him being kind of a romantic with the view. Like, it's a pretty view, right? Oh no! Oh no! He didn't like that at all.